Today we will watch a movie about sophisticated thieves who overcome the world's most powerful security and liberate themselves by stealing the world's most valuable necklace. Why do I say liberate themselves? You'll understand the moment you see the main event of this movie. Leading the team of thieves in this movie is Zhang, a very clever individual, followed by Pe, a skilled hacker, and then there's Red, a beautiful and cunning thief. In addition to action, this movie is filled with suspense that will truly surprise you. But enough talk. Let's get started with today's explanation of the adventurer's movie. At the beginning of the movie, we come across news where it's reported that a precious necklace named Eye of the Forest has been stolen from a museum, and the police have already apprehended the thief. But the necklace is not found in the thief's possession. Further information about the stolen necklace. The stolen necklace, named GAYA, was part of a priceless necklace composed of 3 parts: Eye of the Forest, Wings of Destiny, and Rope of Life, which queens from different countries used as jewelry. Anyway, the scene shifts, and we find ourselves 5 years later, where a person who had been serving a 5-year sentence is being released from jail today. This person is primarily the leader of the thieves team, Zhang. When Zhang emerges, a police officer is standing in front named Per, an international criminal expert from the French police. Per and Zhang have known each other for a long time. So, Per wants to give him a lift, but Zhang declines and walks away. Per then instructs someone wirelessly to keep an eye on Zhang. As Zhang walks, he sits down at a coffee shop to have a cup of coffee, and then, a police spy is seen approaching him. Zhang receives a call on his phone and he swiftly evades the spy's gaze and makes his escape in a helicopter. Actually, the helicopter had been waiting there for him. Later, we found out that a theft had occurred at a museum. The police officer, Per, came there and caught a boy. When Per asked the boy about Zhang, at first, the boy hesitated to speak. But when Per showed him the fear of being accused of theft, he revealed Zhang's location to him. Meanwhile, Zhang could be seen landing in a city in France by helicopter and parachuting down. As it turns out, Zhang had planned a major theft at a hotel in France today. When Zhang landed, his team member, Pe, was talking to him. Pe's specialty was hacking into any device, so Pe provided him with his fake ID to enter the hotel's server room. There, at the hotel where they planned to steal today, Pe was deleting all criminal records of Zhang from the server. On the other hand, several people outside this hotel are agitating for animal cruelty. In the meantime, Zhang disguised himself as a VIP guest and entered the hotel. While riding the elevator, he asked Pe where our other member was. Right then, we spotted Red, who had just won a game of darts at a bar. Red was stunning to look at and could steal anything. Here, they were communicating with each other through earbuds. So, Red changed her dress according to the plan and joined a protest outside the hotel with animals. Shortly after, at an event in this hotel, a chip guest named Miss Ting Ting arrived. She was primarily a member of the royal family and came to sell her expensive necklace, Wing of Destiny, at an auction held there. She wanted to use the money from selling this necklace to build Europe's largest zoo so that the animals could live comfortably. However, the main reason Zhang and his team were there was to steal this necklace. A few moments later, the auction began, and the necklace was brought onto the stage. Zhang then used a special tracker, like a phone, to virtually target lock the necklace, ensuring that wherever it went, its location could be pinpointed. Instead, he instructed them to stick to the plan and they included Demon in their scheme. It became apparent that the Wing of Destiny necklace was sold for $6 million, prompting Zhang to call Red and start their plan. That's when the real game began. Red, following their plan, engaged in a lot of mischief during the protest, stirring up conflict with the police, and leading everyone back into the hotel. They all headed towards the action room, while the Wing of Destiny necklace was quickly taken to the vault. On the other side, Officer Per sat in the control room, searching for Zhang on CCTV and finding him. He realized that all of this was Zhang's plan. So, he quickly approached the vault room and told the guards to open the vault immediately, fearing that if they didn't, the necklace would be stolen. Hearing Per's urgent plea, the security guard in charge came over. Initially, he laughed at Per's request to open the vault right away, but eventually, due to Per's persistent requests, he granted permission to open the door to the vault room. Meanwhile, Per used a device to track the location of the necklace and reached the room next to the vault. Then, Per began breaking the wall with a special device, while on the other side, the guard somewhat opened the door of the vault. Understanding the situation, Per quickly opened the vault, grabbed the necklace, and made a swift exit. Just then, Officer Per and the other guards opened the vault room door to find that the necklace had already been stolen. When Per steals the necklace here and informs Zhang that the plan has succeeded, Zhang says, "Wait a moment, since Per is here, let's have some fun with him." Just then, Demon is seen coming to Zhang's VIP room dressed as a waiter and deliberately spilling a glass of wine on Miss Ting Ting's dress, apologizing to her and taking the opportunity to involve her in the task by handing her a tissue to clean it up. Afterward, he takes this opportunity to sit down next to Ting Ting, and while talking to her, he takes out a device from his shoe and exploits it, filling the entire room with smoke, and initiating chaos. Everyone gets caught up in the commotion. On the other hand, as Per arrives straight to the parking lot, Red pulls him into the car and starts driving away. Officer Per notices them and instructs them to stop the car. However, Red increases the speed of the car upon seeing Per, breaking through the barrier and driving away. Per then pursues them with another car, while Miss Ting Ting, leaving the hotel, realizes that her necklace is missing. Actually, Zhang stole Miss Ting Ting's necklace. Meanwhile, in an attempt to stop Red, Per fires shots at them using his gun, but then Per emerges from their car's sunroof and launches a grenade at Per's car, causing it to flip over. Finally, Red and Per escape. Having succeeded in the mission, Zhang meets Demon and pays him the agreed-upon amount. Demon then asks why he isn't retiring yet. Zhang replies, "I want to know who betrayed me and sent me to jail. For that reason, he must steal 3 necklaces from GAYA because, without GAYA's set, they will never come before me." Later, Zhang arrives there and meets Red and Per. He pays Red his due amount, but Red, seeing Zhang's bike, likes it. He got on the bike and started having fun with a little pickup. He suddenly noticed that Zhang and Po were bidding him farewell from inside a private plane. Seeing this, Red is utterly dumbfounded. Anyway, the scene shifts and we see a girl who works in an insurance company and her name is Amber. Amber is Zhang's ex-wife, and Zhang and Amber loved each other very much, but after going to prison, she grew to hate Zhang and cut off contact with him. Here, we see Officer Per standing outside Amber's office, waiting for her. When Amber steps out, Per shows her a picture of Zhang and asks if she recognizes him. Amber replies, "You might as well know, I knew him 5 years ago. After that, I have no idea what happened to him after he got out of jail." Per asks for her help regarding the theft, but Amber refuses directly. Per hands her a card and says, "If you change your mind, give me a call." Amber goes back to her house and continues to drink. Here Amber has a house full of bottles of wine, but she is really hurt by Zhang going to jail and she thinks that Zhang cheated on her, so she becomes addicted to alcohol. Amber calls Per here to get revenge on Zhang. He offers to help Per, but Per agrees to help Per if he can put Zhang in prison for life. Per agrees and asks about another diamond called Rope of Life, which is actually another part of GAYA. Per wants to know more about where we can find it. Amber says we have to travel a long way to get it. Meanwhile, Zhang and Po visit Zhang's uncle Kong at his hideout, where Kong is given the newly stolen Wings of Destiny necklace, which Kong is very happy to see and leaves an arc. He then gives a check to Zhang. Looking at the check he says, "So little money," and replies, "Kong, I know it's less money here, but with some money from here I killed him who took your stolen Eye of the Forest necklace and hurt you." It says Kong, "That man's tongue." Kong shows a part of the tattoo to Zhang and is very happy to see it. Asks him who did this to the man who handed me over to the police and sent me to jail for 5 years, i.e. who is the real mastermind behind this betrayal. Kong then gets very upset and says that your ex-wife Amber did it. Actually Kong is completely lying here, but we will know the real story later. He seems hurt when he hears about Amber and asks Uncle Kong for one last job. He wants to leave this world of theft. Here we understand that Zhang was not stealing for himself but for Uncle Kong. Kong is also very happy to see Zhang's work sought, and he says that we now have 2 of the 3 parts of the GAYA, Eye of the Forest and the Wing of Destiny. Now if we get the last part of the Necklace of Life part, then we will sell it and get a lot of money, and then we don't have to do anything else in our lives. Then Uncle Kong explained the plan to Zhang and Po came out. While walking, Zhang noticed that someone was following them, so he asked Po to go to another street. Zhang got on a tram and stood on the tram. Zhang found that Amber was following him. Amber approaches Zhang and checks Zhang's pocket for Miss Ting Ting's necklace, taking the opportunity to leave a police hacking chip in Zhang's pocket. Police officer Per then transferred all of Zhang's phone information. But soon Zhang and Po learn about the device. They realize that the police have found out about their next theft plan. Po then forbids Zhang from committing this theft. Zhang tells him that they will use Plan B, and then Red enters the bike. The 3 then go to one of his houses, near which is the Rope of Life necklace. They start taking shots of the entire house here with the drone, and Zhang tells Red, "You need to seduce this guy and find out everything about Rope of Life security in his house." So when the owner of Rope of Life goes out for a walk with his dog, Red a little hot to see him with a baby dog, and that's where they meet for the first time. In the next scene, Officer Per, the owner of Rope of Life, meets Charlie and informs him that the necklace he has is going to be stolen. Hearing this, Charlie laughs for a long time and tells him that if those thieves can break my security and steal the rope of life, then they deserve it. Then Charlie and his bodyguard leave. A few days later, Charlie goes to a wine bar where he sees Red drinking and starts flirting with her. However, Red continues to drink without paying much attention to Charlie. When Charlie asks about Red's identity, Red says that she is a wine magazine reporter and a wine expert. Charlie then says, I am the owner of this wine bar. And if you want, you can take an interview with me about my wine here. Red then tells Charlie to call and leaves. So the next day, Pa and Red wait for Charlie's call, and finally when Charlie calls Red, they fix the interview date for the next day. Red put the phone down Charlie here before he can finish talking. Because he's basically trying to get Charlie more interested in her by showing attitude. Even Po was also surprised by this attitude. Anyway, meanwhile, officers Pear and Amber together were keeping an eye on Mr. Charlie. Pear tells Amber here that 5 years ago when Zhang was fleeing after stealing Eye of the Forest, my car overturned and caught fire while chasing him. I thought I might die, but to my surprise, this Zhang was there to save my life, which led to him being caught by the police. Amber was surprised to hear that Zhang had such a good attitude. So in the middle of their talk, Red finally arrives at Charlie's mansion for an interview. Red hid the camera in her glasses, with which she scanned everything in the palace, and Zhang and Po watched it together from home. Red sits here in Charlie's office room and begins his interview and asks Charlie questions. Charlie was also answering truthfully, taking this opportunity to ask him what is the most expensive item in your collection. Charlie then talks about Rope of Life and Red asks if I can take a picture of you with Rope of Life for our magazine. Charlie happily takes Red with him to a secret room, where the Rope of Life is kept. At this opportunity, Red scans all the security systems there and sends it to Pa, and a mini robot is placed in that room. When Charlie was photographed in front of the Rope of Life, Red says light reflection in the image for the glass cover. Charlie then opened the glass in front of the necklace with his fingerprint, which Zhang's team didn't know. So when Red comes out after finishing her work, Pear tries to catch her, but Red escapes gracefully. Anyway, a few days later, Charlie arranges a party for his birthday. He invites Red and Officer Pear, and it is at this party that Zhang plans to fingerprint Charlie and steal the Rope of Life. Po essentially sets a fingerprint machine on Red's waist to collect Charlie's fingerprints while Red and Charlie dance at the party. So as usual on the day of the party, Red comes dressed up very nicely and Charlie falls in love with Red. There Red cleverly takes Charlie's fingerprints while dancing with him. On the other hand, Po enters the palace and takes over the entire system by knocking out the guards in the security room. On this opportunity, Zhang also enters the palace and goes to the room where the Rope of Life is. Meanwhile, Officer Pear also arrives at the party and tells Charlie that his Rope of Life is about to be stolen and Red is on the team. Charlie then checks the CCTV on his phone to see that everything is fine. But immediately he is surprised to see that the camera shows his dog in that room, but in reality, the dog is in front of him. Seeing this, Charlie tells Red to be locked up, and everyone rushes towards the Rope of Life room. But by then Zhang leaves the room with a necklace with Charlie's fake fingerprint. When Pa sees on CCTV that Red is being held, he opens Red's handcuffs and runs away with him. Meanwhile, when Charlie goes to the room and sees that the Rope of Life has already been stolen, he asks his security guards to quickly stop the thieves. But interestingly, Zhang gracefully exits the palace with those securities. Officer Pear continued to chase him, and at one point shot Zhang in the arm, trapping him. Seeing this, Amber, who was with Pear, got a bit emotional and she tricked Pear and took Zhang in the car and ran away. Also, Pa and Red escaped from Charlie's security through a lot of uphill and downhill. Then the four of them stopped at a place where Zhang says, Amber, you not to get involved in all this. Just then Uncle Kong came there. Zhang is a bit nervous to see Kong, as Zhang already knows that 5 years ago, Kong stole the Eye of the Forest from him and handed him over to the police. A more surprising thing happened here when Zhang went to pull out his gun. Red takes Zhang's gun and points it at him. Red says that she actually works for Kong and was originally Kong's man. She worked on Zhang's team for so long. Anyway then, Kong leaves in a helicopter with Rope of Life and Amber. But just then Pa puts a tracker on the helicopter, so they can track where Amber is being taken. By then, the police had arrived and arrested Zhang and Pa. But Zhang says to escape by jumping over here with the help of a parachute. Pa does exactly what Zhang says. And Zhang was arrested by the police. So while interrogating Zhang makes a deal with Officer Pear. If Zhang handed over the GAYA necklace to the police, then the police will no longer arrest Zhang and the criminal records of Zhang and his team will be expunged. This will allow Zhang to be free and have a beautiful family with Amber. And that's why I said at the beginning of the movie that thieves will basically free themselves through theft. Anyway, the next scene shows Zhang and Pa tracking Kong's location through the tracker and reaching there. Leaving Pa in the car, Zhang goes inside to find no one there, only sees a doll made by Kong and opens it, then he finds a proximity bomb set inside, then Kong and his men bring Amber in. On the other hand, Red brings Pa. Kong then says that the bomb will detonate when GAYA's briefcase moves a kilometer away. After it says, Kong tells Red to guard Zhang, Amber, and Pa here. He goes to meet another gang downstairs to sell GAYA. But Zhang here tries to convince Red that he has always looked up to him like a father and Pa loves him. Hearing this, Red becomes very emotional, and in the next scene, Zhang takes Red as a hostage and comes in front of Kong, but Kong sees them and shoots Red first and says that there is no point in keeping someone who can't do my job properly. Hearing this, Zhang was more shocked. Then he told the gang leader who came to buy GAYA, 5 years ago, I stole the eye of the forest. It was taken from me by your brother for Kong. After that, this Kong killed your brother and cut off his tattooed tongue. On hearing this, the gang leader gets very angry with Kong. Meanwhile, Kong is about to fire on Zhang, just then Red stands up and shoots for Kong's gun down. Actually Red didn't die here, she originally planned with Zhang and came here wearing a bulletproof jacket to see Kong's true face. Meanwhile, Pa starts shooting there with some mini robots. Due to this, the shooting started between the two gangs. And on this occasion, Zhang started to move away with the GAYA briefcase. But Kong saw it and chased Zhang and kept firing. So at one point, Zhang throws the GAYA briefcase to Kong and Kong gets into his car and drives away. But when Kong comes to some distance and opens the briefcase, he sees that instead of GAYA, it contains the proximity bomb and the bomb will explode if he goes only 2 meters. So he asked his driver to stop the car, but then the gang's car came from behind and hit his car. With the bomb blasted, Kong's chapter closes here. On the other hand, while Zhang, Pa, Red, and Amber were watching it from a distance, Pa told Zhang that if we don't get GAYA, how can we get rid of the police? Zhang then surprised them, pulling out GAYA's entire necklace from his pocket. Here in the flashback, when Zhang was holding the briefcase with him during the shooting, he took GAYA's necklace, handed it to Red, and inserted the proximity bomb into the briefcase. However, Zhang eventually gives GAYA to the police as he promised, and he starts a happy life with Amber and Pa, Red. So if you like the story, please like and comment, and if you are new to our channel then subscribe to the channel and click the bell button.